Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the JJ Unplugged show. Hello, my name is
And
Jake,
I'm Jenny.
and today we're going to be talking probably a continuation of last episode. So if you haven't listened to it yet, what are you doing? Go back and listen to it. But we're going to be talking about productivity lie. Is it a lie? Is it for everyone a lie? Or are we doing something right? Who knows? Maybe we're going to be talking a little bit about ADHD and money. And those of you who have ADHD probably immediately were like, oh, I know what you're talking about.
Welcome to the JJ Unplugged Show.
Yeah, first of all, let's catch up. I feel like I haven't seen you in such a long time. What has happened since, I don't know, let's say last month? What is the biggest thing that has happened in your life since last month?
I started back college. I suppose I've taken on more workload at work. I suppose college is probably the best highlight, and I've also started working with people. Did I mention that last time? I'm working with people now.
I don't think you did, no.
Yeah, I started up my own little mini business with the help of some lovely people. No name dropping, but you know who you are. And yeah, it's been scary. It's been exciting. It's been rewarding. It's been so many things. Honestly, very humbling as well, if I'm honest. Yeah.
What's the best thing that you really enjoy from working with people?
Oh, the best thing.
And I feel like we need to just clarify a little bit. What do you mean by working with people?
So I suppose holistically is the best way to talk about that. So like doing body work with them, bringing them into the body, but it usually kind of starts from a space of talking and bringing them into safety. And while I'm in my second year of college, I know there's a lot of skills that are quite sharp for me already, but I wouldn't ever take them on as like a therapy client because I'm not fully accredited for that. I'm that's not what I do. It's more so just an ear in those moments, mirroring back to them what's coming up and going into the body and seeing where that's stored for them.
Yeah. And what was the most rewarding thing? Like I've been peeking a little bit, all of the feedback that you've gotten, not feedback, but testimonials, and they're just so amazing to read.
They're lovely. They're really heartfelt, and I've cried probably nearly every one of them that have been sent to me. I've literally just been like, oh, like it's. I'm even feeling like I'm gonna cry now talking about it. It's so rewarding because you have these people, and when they come into you, they're definitely not they're not the best version of themselves that they want to be. And when they come in, the change in them from when they come to me, like in that moment, and when they're leaving, it's they're so much lighter. And then in the kind of coming days, coming weeks when I'm checking in on them, whether it's pictures that they're sending of me and I can see the change. I can see the change in their faces, in their smiles, in their eyes. Or they're just telling me, via messages, this is happening, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And there's so much shifting going on. It's just like, wow, this is amazing. They're doing the work for themselves. And all I am is a container to hold them in that space while they do the work, right? That's all it is. It's not like I'm healing you. It's they heal themselves, but they trust me to hold them while they do that. That's so rewarding. There's no words to express how rewarding that is.
Oh, that's so amazing. I love hearing that, especially when you mentioned the shift in their faces, for example. Immediately, the first thing that I imagine is those of you who are watching, like if you're just listening, what I'm doing is smiling with my eyes and then I'm not smiling with my eyes. And the difference is just being like
You're in
happy or
presence,
just,
yeah.
yeah, I'm dead inside.
Yeah.
Such a big difference. Yeah.
It's that survival stare. That's what I call it. The survival stare where you're like, I'm here, but I'm not really here. Whereas when they're really smiling, they smile with the eyes and it all comes together. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's so important. And also, it's so easy to tell because I've been in that place where smile, the camera's looking at you, okay, show the teeth, or just like tense your cheek
Yeah.
muscles.
Yeah.
Pretend like you're smiling.
Just that. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
It's beautiful.
but then when you actually find your when you kind of do the spring cleaning, inner spring cleaning, and you not even throw away all of the things that are weighing you down, but really work through them, try to figure out what is causing them, accept them, feel them, and so on, and then you can kind of accept that this is part of me now. Now I can accept myself again. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think one of the most powerful expressions that I've seen there lately that I actually do say to my clients is feel it to heal it. They have to feel
Mm,
whatever it is that they're avoiding. And I see so many people disassociate from it when the pain is there. The mind is so powerful that they can just switch it off and they go inward. And you can see them the second it happens where they just go, no, I'm not feeling that. And I'm like, did you? I can see the moment where I'm like, what did you just do there? So it's bringing them back and going, no, no, be with it. And I've had many people say like it's too painful, it's too much, and I'm like, I know it is, but I'm here. You're okay. You're gonna feel it. It's not gonna be as bad as you think it is. And even if it is bad to feel it, like once you feel it, it's gone. That's it. It's done. And so many of us will numb and we will avoid it instead of just feeling it in those seconds. And we actually put ourselves through more pain not feeling it and not being with it for those 10, 20 minutes, whatever it is. And like, that's the span of like how many years of you just pushing it away while it keeps coming back and hurting you even longer or for more time than it needs to, you know?
yeah. Yeah, that's so true, which does remind me of the ADHD superpower, where when someone's out of sight, they're out of mind, and this also happens with emotions. So, you know what? The easiest thing that I've ever had to get over is either a death in the family
Yeah.
or a breakup or anything like that, because when that person is gone, I kind of I don't intentionally think about them.
Yeah.
It sounds rough, but it kind of works, which is weird. That's the benefit of having a very spicy brain. But then when it does come back, and you think about either that person or the relationship or whatever, you really feel it. You really feel it, and also think that because we feel our emotions so strongly, it's much easier to work through them.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the emotional dysregulation piece is so prevalent for like anyone that's neurodivergent, and I just feel like that's not like it needs to be screamed from the rooftops more. Like we all we all have our shit, right? But it's like, does this actually prevent you from getting through your day? How dysregulated you are emotionally, and you just kind of want to have a cheerleader on the side to be like, feel the feelings, it's good, be angry for a minute, then let it pass, bring yourself back into whatever this feeling is, discomfort, whatever. I've noticed myself, like, even to this point, like now, I'll shoot from being really, really happy, eccentric to like really angry, or there's no in
Yep.
between with that, and it's kind of reminding myself to like feel more. That's the main thing, I think. Yeah, is just feel more, open yourself up to the other emotions that are there. There's an array of them. Allow yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also, in a corporate world, you have to find the time to feel those
I
emotions.
schedule in crying sessions. Yeah.
Uh, I don't, but I actually have seen some TikToks about people scheduling crying sessions or like having a cry room. Imagine working for a company where there's a cry room. I don't know whether it's toxic or thoughtful.
I think it's thoughtful. I feel like it would be great if they created a rage room. Maybe that would be more beneficial, where you can just go in
And
and
a different,
on a different floor that people are working on, and just go in and smash up a few microwaves, and then you might feel a little bit better after a while.
or like, the open office or open hours, whatever it is. And then in the rage room, there's like a specific time of the day when there's a different manager.
Just go in and scream at them. No, I don't know if that would work, but yeah, that might actually
Pic-
require some services of a therapist then. But yeah, no.
Pictures on the TV change so that you can scream at somebody or like airdrop a photo.
I'm
Uh,
still holding on to the Rage Room piece. I have to go because there's a lot of them in Dublin, and I actually really do want to try one out just to see what happens.
I don't know. I'm not like big into hurting things.
The microwave isn't
And
giving me
like
feelings. Don't worry.
I get that, but see like because I have such a close relationship with inanimate objects,
Technology.
like technology,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, sorry, I didn't mean it.
I can't hurt you. I can't even get a cat because I'm scared that, all of my cables are going to be ruined.
Maybe you do need a room of people then that you can actually just go in and scream at.
I mean, could be worth a try. Speaking of which, you just reminded me, and I think we talked about this previously, at least in our messages, that I think I've only gotten like proper angry only like a handful of times.
Yeah.
And that is like a different face. When you watch like a cartoon or something that's exaggerated, when somebody gets angry, their face changes
Yeah.
and to like a completely different person. Yeah, not a lot of people have seen that. And you know what? I don't think they will because I'm way better at managing my emotions.
Isn't that so funny? See that word there, managing. Managing our emotions. Like out of that whole sentence, that's the one word I hone in on. Like, yes, my current job role is a manager, and I manage people, and I manage their emotions and their emotional capacity, But the fact that I have to manage myself so much, wouldn't it be great if you could just be free to feel what you need to feel
Yeah,
and not have to manage yourself?
it would be. That would be the dream. But you know what? We live in a very, what's the word? World, not corporate, but like a very dog eats dog sort of a world. Or as other people say, doggy dog.
Doggy dog. Yeah.
Doggy dog world. But this actually leads me to one of the talking points. So when you think about hyperproductivity versus the actual impact, what are your first thoughts?
High productivity.
Hyperproductivity, when you're like getting everything done in like the span of, I don't know, 3 hours, and then you're set for the week. And then what is the actual impact of that? Let's first talk about hyperproductivity. Like, do you ever have those moments when you have such a burst of
Oh
energy?
yeah.
I know I do.
100%. 100%. And I literally just do it all. I'm able to train in the gym. I'm able to, keep a nice little routine going for myself. And I'm doing really well in work in my mind. I'm doing really well with keeping in with my friendships and, my partner. And everyone around me seems to be happy. And I'm facilitating, this is going to sound terrible. I'm facilitating their needs, as in I'm reaching out and making sure they're okay, like my closest family and then maybe friends and stuff like that. But yeah, it's I've noticed that my expectations are not normal. And when people usually say to me like, "Oh, like I had a lazy weekend," or like I just stayed in bed all weekend, or I just watched TV, I can I can feel myself being like, what the fuck? Like it's, or when people say they're tired after doing like one task, my brain automatically judges because I would do several of those tasks and I'm still going. I'll still keep pushing through. And for that person, they're like, I'm tired after that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I get it. Like, I'm gonna give you an example of how I used to work. Now I'm like more mellow, but I still have bursts, right? So 3 hours a day, let's say 3 hours, I can do everything that I need to do for the entire week or even for the entire month. especially if the water is just like at my mouth level and I am slowly starting to drown. I'm like, okay, right. So I have all of these tasks that need doing. Let me just sit down, do all of them, crank them all out, and then that's done. But in between those moments, it's just like, okay, right. Let me just spend these 4 hours trying to figure out how do I get data from this one place that might simplify my life down the line if I automate it, but I need to just sit there for like 4 or 5 hours trying to figure it out and not actually do stuff that I would need to do, you know?
Yeah.
Just having that sort of executive dysfunction doing other things, procrastinating, essentially it's productive procrastination, right?
Yeah.
I'm procrastinating doing what I need to be doing, but I'm still doing something. So, it kind of feels like you're doing stuff.
That was me this week. Because when I went away for my sabbatical, a lot of data was not inputted into one of my docs that I would normally do on a weekly basis, or if I'm falling behind every 2 weeks. Like I look at the data, I just don't input it into this thing because for me it's a task. And if I'm in that space of executive dysfunction where I'm like, I can't even do the thing, like, I did
Yeah.
that this week. And while I feel like, oh my God, it's all done now and I'm up to speed, I'm like, how much time? That actually did take me hours this week to get that done true. And I broke it down in different days to do this. It wasn't just true one day, it was true 3 different days this week to do it because older me would have been like, I'll just spend the whole day. I'll take a whole day doing this thing instead of all the other things I need to do. Whereas I was like, right, I've gotten smarter at breaking it down throughout and it's done now. The task is done. The weight is off me because it was in the back of my mind. But yeah, I'm like that. I do get that, where I look back and I'm like, my brain does this thing where it's like, why did I not do all of these things like every week like I should have? Because where's your brain at that
Right?
time? Where is your brain, right? And you get these
Yeah.
these bursts of energy and you're like, do it all now, and then it's done for like a month. But then for the rest of that month I'm like a broken egg.
But that's also something that we need to work around. And it's a known, not problem, it's a known symptom
Great.
of ADHD essentially,
Yeah.
where like you can really focus for a short period of time,
Yeah.
but then you need a longer period of time to just kind of recoup everything and kind of exist
But
so that you don't have to do those. Yeah.
do you know what though? Something that I've noticed is if I have to focus on something that I don't want to focus on, my brain will automatically switch off. It just goes, no, no interest, none. And I do the thing where I'm like, and you're like, you're not actually there. I know you're not there. And I'm like, and for anyone else in the room, they're like, oh yeah, she's paying attention. She really knows what's happening. And I'm like, like, no, I can, like, we went to a seminar recently for work. I was so engaged throughout the whole time because the person was really expressionate. They were really, making sure to grab my attention throughout and, was working with their voice and changing the tone and making jokes and keeping me entertained. Like, I feel like that individual in particular worked so well with her wider audience. She's really figured it out because there wasn't a period during that time where I was like, oh, I didn't look at the time, which I normally do. I'm like, is this done yet? Even in a yoga class the other night, I was like, is this over yet? Right? Like I just, if you have my attention, that's it. Even with college at the minute, when I'm engrossed in what's going on, if I'm holding space for someone and they're talking to me like as if I'm the therapist, I'm so there. I'm so in the moment and nothing would take me out of it. Even noise around me doesn't take me out of it. But if it's something I really don't want to do, I'm like, meh,
Yep.
gone,
Zone out.
gone.
And then when you don't hear all of the information that you should have heard, well, then you're like, well, where do I get it? No idea. But I do gotta say, I really hope that all of the AI meeting note takers and like life loggers and everything else, I hope they become mainstream because that is
So
basically a
helpful.
superpower. I gotta say, where do I have it? Let me grab this little thing. So I have the life logger. This is the limitless AI one. basically, whenever I go to either a workshop or an in-person training or anything like that, where I know that there's probably going to be a lot of information that I should retain, but I won't hear it, either I want to or not, or I just won't write it down because I thought it's not important at the moment. But then somewhere down the line,
Yeah.
somebody asked me a question. I'm like, I should know it, but like, don't know it.
Mhm.
So with the life logger, I can just go back. I can search. I can like ask, similar to like a chat GPT. I can ask like, when we were talking about, I don't know, developing your personal brand, what were the main takeaways or the main things that we should be doing, and then it will give me the answers because I might have known 4 out of the 7 of them.
Yeah.
But then it's such a superpower. I remember a lot of stuff. I remember a lot of stuff, like where to find articles, how to, like, I don't know, enable two-factor authentication on the most awkward places in the world. Yet people's names, birthdays, important things that are important for people, for like interpersonal relationships, gone. It's just there's no bucket in my brain for that.
Same. If it's not on my calendar, my brain most likely isn't going to remember it. And I think the whole unmasking phase, I've gotten so much more used to the fact that I do forget things, and I don't punish myself for it anymore.
Speaking of hyperproductivity, let's continue this a little bit, because hyperproductivity, another way I see it is, and I'll give you an example, right? You've probably heard, sounds like I'm bragging, I'm not bragging, but you probably heard that, oh, Jay can do all of these things and all of these things and, do all of these 50 different projects and whatever and deliver. But what do you think is the actual impact? So I'll tell you what I think. I might be able to do all of these different things, but I do them because they interest me. It's something new, it's the novelty.
Yeah.
And then I know that impact is what it currently is, right? So the immediate impact, it's probably positive. But the long term impact, because I've done it, I've let it go, I'm already bored of it. Will I go back and check it? Maybe not. Maybe I'm not going to go back and check how did this project that I worked on 2 years ago has delivered results in all this time, and then look back at it. I've probably already forgotten what I did.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, what is your relationship with like doing all of these things, doing everything? College, school, college and school is the same thing. College, work, meeting people as well, relationship, family, just all of these things technically take up space in your brain.
Yeah.
How do you measure the impact
Is it bad?
on others and on
Is
yourself?
it bad to say that I really don't check in with this enough? Like, I think maybe in the last 2 or 3 months, actually, the last 2 months to be specific, because I've come back from a sabbatical. When I took the time off, it took me the best part of 3 weeks for my brain to actually shut off from my current day to day job and the stresses that come with that. And once it was gone, it was gone. And it was such a relief, a nice feeling. College isn't like, yes, I'm tired when I come out of it, but I know enough now after being in a year of it that when I finish the day, the last thing I want to do is be around people. So I've set boundaries there, and I'm really good at kind of going, I need to decompress. There's a lot of heavy stuff talked about. Like, for example, I literally started back there now for second year, and the whole weekend we talked about existentialism and grief. So, heavy topics. And then other people are talking about their stuff, which is very heavy around that. And it's like, my normal thing is that I'll overgive, and I know now from my course that I cannot overgive. I can't do what I used to do. I'm good with it in my relationship, I'd like to think. I can always be better, and he's great at communicating. He's a Cancer. He'll communicate with me, and he's really good at seeing the boundaries because he's in the same line of work, so he gets it, and that's so nice. It's so nice because if I come in and I'm like, I just need what he's like, yep, and he's the same, and we don't get offended by that. We're not like, oh, like, do you not love me? We get it. Um, Family can be harder for the boundaries and for the over giving. That's something I'm still working on. And work is something I'm still working on as well. Like, I feel like there's a lot of work I do, but again, coming back to your actual question on the impact, I'm doing work, but what's the impact? And that's a question I really have not sat with. And I have to sit with going forward now from last month into the new year is what am I being asked to do? What's the impact?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
How do you choose the right things to do
Yeah.
and say no to all of the like busy work? That's so hard
Yeah. Yeah.
because somebody else is gonna have to do it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be you,
No, and
you know?
that's something that like I've already kind of put things in my mind in place of how I want to attack the new attack. That's the West word. Attack the new year. Like take it on. Um. Yeah. I've already got stuff in my
Um,
mind for that.
I just have to put in I want to be ninja. I am dead. But yeah, the impact. That's the thing. And also thinking about not just impact on what you do, but also impact on everything that you do on yourself.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's a massive impact on this year alone, the year of the snake, the year of shedding. I seen something on an astrologer's TikTok where they said this year is the year of shedding. It's the year of, kind of death and rebirth for people. But we cannot go into this year, which I did foolishly, and I can definitely give myself a slap on the wrist for that. I came into this year looking to thrive, and as a Libra, no, as a cardinal sign, it wasn't the year. It's the year of shedding. It's the year of rebirth. It's the year of getting things in line to going into the next year to thrive. So I've had to kind of
How
give my head a
many,
wobble.
how many life-changing events did we experience
No, I
this year?
actually like. I just feel like I've been rallied like for the full year. Like I feel like I've had about 7 midlife crises this year alone, and I'm just like, am I okay?
Like at least spit on it if you're not gonna use lube, you know?
Hold my hand before you do.
God,
It's
no, this
been
year.
it's been rough, and yeah, I think it's also this like disbelief. I don't know if you have that. This disbelief of like, did that like, how did I get through all of this?
Right?
Oh, it's
No, but
icky.
even I, d- I was talking to some people today, and many mentioned, "Oh my God, how is it already October? It feels like the year flew in." Not for me, it didn't. This is the first year I don't feel like the year flew in
Yeah.
because when you've been ripped from your fanny in all different directions, oof,
Yeah, it was birth without the epidural. It was natural birth there. Natural rebirth. Yeah. And I think the only thing that really went fast for me was my sabbatical, my time off.
right?
I literally feel
Yes.
like I blinked and it was like, by the way, it's time to come back now. I was like, no.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, time is just
but
an illusion, really. I know that. Like, that's my thought process. It's just an illusion. It's all an illusion. But, like, it's been painful sometimes this year.
just with all the learnings and all of the life lessons, I'm like, can we just not?
Yeah.
Can we stop?
Can we just take a beat?
Yeah, time out.
Literally. I feel like
But
like at the edge of like I don't know whether is it like wrestling where they come in and they go like, yeah, I just feel like someone
yeah,
needs to do that. Like like stop
yeah,
the planet.
exactly.
Stop the planet. I'm getting off for like a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need a little break. But to be fair, I've been really looking forward to us recording these sessions only because it really feels like we are taking a break, and it's kind of like a self therapy session
Yeah.
nearly,
Yeah.
because how often do we talk about our issues?
I don't know about you, but I haven't got a choice. I'm in college now and I have to have a personal
Sure.
therapist. I feel like every day I'm like, hit me with your trauma. See?
I don't think I can hit anybody with my trauma because I just don't like sharing. It's mine. Go away.
I've earned this.
Yeah, I've worked hard for this. All the other people also have spent so much time making this trauma happen. Go away.
Get your own.
Not sharing. This is not a cake parlor. Okay, let's maybe change the topic a little bit. So we're talking about doing a lot, reflecting, thinking about impact. But how do we get to that point where you say no? Now, I'll share this. Every time I have to say no to somebody, I will say no, but then provide a lot of context why it's a no, and then try to kind of make it look better so that
Over explain.
they don't feel upset.
Yeah. Over explaining, which is a trauma response. We live for it. And I do it too, and I'm guilty of it. And my partner is so suave at calling me out for this, where I say something and I go, no, because blah, 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 blah. And I send him like a paragraph and he's like, I wasn't blaming you there, or like, and I'm like, yeah, I was just saying, like, and I know it's a trauma response where you feel like you need to over explain yourself I suppose, what's the best way to say it? In a way that you're not hurting someone's feelings. Like, it's always in the back of your mind where you're like, I don't want to upset anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it also comes from a place where if I was asking, let's say I'm asking for days off.
Yeah.
I want like 3 days off, and somebody tells me no, and there's no reason for that. I want to know the reason. So I'm kind of thinking about it from this way, that if I said no to somebody, would it be enough? Or would I want to know more? So would I have additional questions? So it's always anticipating the questions, even though they might not arrive.
I think that in itself, while it's it's like a trauma response, it can also be a little bit of a superpower as a manager, right? Because I know for a fact I don't start a message with hi or hey and nothing else, and the other person on the other side of that, whether it's one of my agents or whatever, they're shitting themselves and they're like, why are you, like, what is it? Send it all in one message. Do the right thing. Don't be that person. I never do that to my people because I just feel like I hate when it's done to me. Why would I do it to anyone else? And if you do it to someone else, it's a power play. It's like, oh, I have you now. I don't do that. I don't play that game. And people's feelings are involved. So I'm like, no.
And you know what? Send the whole message, yes. But make it. Why do you have to make it worse? Why do you have to say, hey, Jake? And then I say, hey. And then you
How are
don't respond to
you?
me. I've had a conversation at least twice
Yeah.
where somebody said, hey, Jake. I said, hey. And never came back. They never got back to me.
So my thing now is that I don't respond until they've actually given more context about what they want. So if I get a hey
Interesting.
message, I don't respond. I don't write, hey, what's up or whatever. I'm like, I look and see what they've wrote, then I see if they're typing to me or not. And if they're not, I just leave it. I'm like, okay, they'll get to me. If they really want something, they'll come back to me.
I do something similar, but I do say hey, but I've learned to just go around about my life,
Yeah.
not stare at the message.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, hi, and then I continue doing whatever I need to do because we work at a tech company. Why are people such slow typists?
We had to do a speed test, typing test to actually get the job.
Right? I didn't. To be fair, I didn't.
Did you know?
No.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna say I did, but I didn't go through the normal process that everyone else did because I was headhunted. So they were like, "We want you," and I was like, "Big Brother's calling." Like, But yeah. But I get it. I think I adapted and learned how to type fast out of out of trauma. Like being like, oh, I need to get out. So you learn really fast.
Yeah.
Same with texting. Like I usually am really quick at texting too.
The best thing that I have learned, sorry, to answer your statement, I feel like whenever we text, it's very quick.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you message me, I reply immediately, we talk a little, done.
And
You know, and we just,
if I don't see your text, it's probably because I'm doing something, and then once I see it, I'm straight away back to you, which isn't too long because my phone is never really away from me for that long, and if it is, I'm like anxiety
mm,
where I'm like, ah, you know. So yeah, that's probably a problem. But listen,
yeah. Uh, Honestly, do not remember what did I want to talk about because it was something. Oh well, we
we're
were talking
talking about.
about texting.
Let's start talking about something else, and it might bring it back.
Exactly. But all right, let's talk a little bit about money. My favorite subject. So, thinking about money, right? Dopamine's role in budgeting, buying, and whoopsie, I started a new hobby and now I have everything necessary for that hobby and I'm over it. So, when I think about money, I think I am pretty good at it or
Yeah,
with it,
yeah,
but also pretty bad because I am so into tech, especially now being Techtober, which is October, but like the all of the big tech releases happen in October. That's why it's called Techtober.
okay,
Also Techtember, but like Tarch, probably March wouldn't sound really good.
yeah. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Tapril Tarch Tay tune. Okay. Yeah, I just got it why it's Techtember and
Yeah,
Techtober. But whenever there's like new releases, I want it. I want it. I got it. And
Ariana.
then I'm like, can exactly. Can I pay? Can I pay back? Can I afford it? Is it important to me? Something that I tried this month is I have the pay later enabled on Revolut. Thank God it's like 700 euro or something. But I thought, Logitech just released, not sponsored, just released a new mouse. Maybe I want like a new keyboard as well because this keyboard is too wide. So let me just spend like 400 euro on it. So I thought, I still have mortgage. So let me just put it on my pay later. I'm going to pay it off. There's not going to be anything else that I want to buy, but like all of these new things are released and I'm like, what do I want? What's going to make me happy? Everything makes me happy for a while.
I think you're incredibly lucky with money as well. Like, I think
I don't know.
while you're good with money, yes, you can have the space to be bad with it, right? But this is typical rationalization right here, right? So get ready for it. You have no kids, right?
Girl math.
You have no pets. Your biggest expenditure or like financial expenditure is your mortgage, right? And you're on top of that. You're always on the ball. You have savings. So when it comes to you actually spending money, you don't like have consistent crazy expenditure like, you know, credit card where you're always in debt. You have money behind you, and when you want something, you might have like an explosive like, spend like 1,000 euro in one go. But what would you be spending if you were consistently in that way? So I that's how I rationalize it, and it's so bad. But I mean in the sense that you're lucky with money. Like, for example, you went and you purchased an amazing, like, ergonomic, really techie desk, and then it arrived and there was like chips in it, you know, at the side or whatever, and it's like, oh, and then they gave you like a full refund for that, and it's like free. That's just free. Perfect. You know?
True. Yeah.
And
No,
money,
I see where you're coming
and
from.
my thought process is, if we want to go down the spiritual rabbit hole, money is just energy, right? So like if you put it out there, you kind of get it back. Yeah, I mean maybe that was your way, like if you're looking for money to come in and the money came back to you for that desk because you're a good person and you did the good things, and you know, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't always have to be you win the lotto through the ticket. It can be through different things, and yeah.
That's true. But like, do you have a fun fund?
I'm an air sign. All of my money is a fun fund. I think I've gotten really, really good at saving over the years. And I would be the type of person where over the years I've worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs at once and things like that, that I've always had the money to facilitate my needs or my wants specifically. So I'm never without, and I've made it that way. And if you really, if you get into this kind of from like a psychotherapy perspective, there's a guy who has a method, a psychotherapy method. His name is Glasser. And he says that we have like 5. I'm going to actually get this up and talk to you about this, right? So Glasser's method is essentially more directive if you were to go into therapy, where he doesn't dwell on the past, right? You have therapists that come in and they tend to go, oh, that's so sad, talk about it, delve into it, go into the emotions, that kind of thing. Glasser's thought process was, if you delve into the past, it's not helping you. It's just making things worse. There's no point in going back there. So his theory is that all human behavior is driven by the desire to satisfy 5 basic needs, right? So they are survival, love and belonging, power, significance, freedom, and fun. So for me, when I did this, I went through it all. Survival is the top. And especially if you grew up in a space where maybe you didn't have a lot of money or you didn't have a lot of stuff, whatever, you will grow up. That will be what you put at the top. So that's the job you have, the life you live, your house, paying your mortgage, all of these things. And power and significance. They're the 2 top ones. So in the survival piece, I suppose I've always put survival at the very top, which means fun always comes kind of to the bottom, or freedom. Freedom comes kind of close to the bottom for me, where I don't feel as free. I have a lot of responsibility. I have a lot of duty, and I do in my job. We have that in our job where we can't just, be like, meh, I'm just not doing the thing today. We don't have a choice. But this is to satisfy one of our basic desires, which is to have money, to do the things we want to do. So from that, psychotherapy perspective, we will do things to meet these needs for ourselves. And we try to do it in a way that's not too harmful. But like if we burn ourselves out on a job that we don't really love for that money, we're not going to, we might see it at some stage, or we might see it a lot of the time, but it doesn't mean we're going to change it, because survival comes above all. And that's having that money, having that power.
Yeah, and you can move through all of those stages as well.
Yeah.
But something that you mentioned, that if you're in a job where you're exhausted,
Yeah.
you might have money, but you're still fighting for your survival and freedom.
Yeah.
So you never actually get to the fun part. And that's the state. It's not that you can't have fun, it's a state of being. That's how I see those stages.
Yeah. Yeah. But like the job, I mean, we look at the job that we're in now, and it's a hard job. It's not one role, it's several, right? You have several different hats that you have to wear. And one of those is indirectly therapist, because you don't know what
Yeah.
you don't know what you're dealing with when you go in to talk to people, which is why I'm doing this degree. It's so beneficial for me in that. But yeah. I hope I made my point there.
You did. And actually, another thing that I always try to keep as a rule is, I know that I'm passionate about new iPhones, so I've kind of set it up so that if I need to, I can save for the entire year,
Yeah.
then have a very big spend when new iPhones come out, and then I will save again until Christmas, because Christmas is usually very expensive in my household. But I always have those kind of cooling off rules that I don't go like, I don't spend constantly, because otherwise I would gladly just, let me just throw everything. Let's buy this, this, and that. And then after a month, you're like, I don't know if I can make all ends meet. I don't want to be in that situation. So just setting those cooling off rules
Yeah.
have been very beneficial.
It's good though. It's really, really helpful, I'd say. And it's kind of like me. I don't have cooling off rules, but I know me that like I would never own a credit card. There's no need for me to have that. Like, no need, because I would run away. The notions that I would have, I would run away with myself with that thing. And I'm like, no. And that's not because I'm bad with money. I'm actually quite okay with it. I don't want to give myself that. Like, I'm just like, no.
The main reason I got a credit card is if I have to go to US, it's so much easier to put everything on a credit card because
Yeah.
there's like holding charges and all of those, especially for hotels. So if you plan on traveling to US, you kind of nearly have to have a credit card. You don't have to, but it's beneficial to have one. But I've learned not to spend it because when I had my first credit card, what was I, 18, 19?
Danger.
Boy,
Danger. That's just
it
danger
was
right
so,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, and I've known
Hmm.
people in the past. I've known people across my life, like, as if I'm saying that, I'm like 60. I'm like, here I am, nearly 34. I've known people
Back in my
back
day.
in my day. Yeah, I've known people over the years that were in their late 30s, that had spending addictions and gambling addictions, and I know people that had like three and four credit cards at once, and they were like booking cruises and buying a new car and all, and I'm just like, wow, like, like spending like you're dying tomorrow, and it's like, meh, that debt will find its way to someone else. I could never. I'm too. I feel like I'm too responsible. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, every now and then I need to let the lid off off the bottle and just get a bit crazy with money. But like, yeah, no credit card.
The one thing that really helps is I just recently started practicing this is I want something, I'm gonna here's an example, right? I scroll Instagram, I see this hoodie that is your full body length with super fluffy inside with a hood. Um, no, not a hoodie, but a throw,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like a blanket, right?
Uh-huh.
With a hood and long sleeves. And I'm like, oh my God, I want it so much because it's so cool. Plus, you get to look like a monk or like a priest. I go on the website, I put it in my cart, and then I see 140 euro. I don't know. And I close it. Now, with cart recovery emails, most companies send the cart recovery, hey,
Oh, you
you
forgot
forgot
about me.
something.
Yeah. Hey, it's me again. Yeah.
I rely on them to remind me if they offer me like a discount code and I still want it at that point, I might buy it, but like 9 out of 10 times I won't.
Okay. I'm
Really interesting.
I'm the kind of person that if I really want something, I'll sit with it for a minute, like a minute. That's all it gets is a minute, and I'm like, I want it. Yeah, no, I'm buying it. Like, there's a workshop I'm going to tomorrow for 2 days, which is going to help me with clients, and I love to learn. I love to know new things. I love to be able to add to my skill set. So between tomorrow and even today, I booked another workshop. I'm booking these things all the time to teach myself to always learn and grow. So that's kind of where my money's going a lot at the minute, is towards like a long term thing. It's not like a something in the moment that gives me, a dopamine hit. But these things, when I go to them and I learn, does give me that. So that's something I'm learning.
But yeah, it's also like investing in your own development, investing in your future and well being. There's like a lot of positive things as well.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, is it do you get a dopamine hit when you check out and when you get that confirmation email? I'm like, okay, yes, I'm going to it.
Yeah. With the one that I'm going to tomorrow, when I seen that this person was coming to Ireland, I was like, oh my God, and it was, I checked out and I didn't even look at the cost. Like, I was like, yep, whatever it is, I don't give a shit. Take my money. Like, I could not be any more excited if I tried. I'm so excited I could wee. I'm like, woo! So yeah, I definitely got it from the one that I'm going to.
Hmm. Can I also point out that you don't we with a woo?
Woo!
You we.
Wee! Yeah, like that's gonna be me now for the next 2 days where I'm learning and I'm like, ooh.
That's so good. It's another thing making you smarter than a fifth grader. But okay, what else? What else? Let's maybe talk about How do we actually celebrate consistency?
Us, like as in me and you, or
Yeah. Also, no, you know what? Us and in general, because I don't think we celebrate consistency in general.
no. No, it's just kind of an expectation, isn't it? It's like, oh, you just need to do that. That yeah, like and consistency for me is it depends on the thing, but like if it's work related, that could be very hard for me. Like if it's not to do with relationships and building relationships that are beneficial in my mind, then it's I'm like meh.
But also, consistency is not going to get you promoted if we're talking about work. Oh, Jen was so consistent
Oh,
for
this
these
is like
past
what
3 years.
yeah. This is my thing though. It's my Achilles heel is that I don't like the bragging aspect. I don't like to brag. It's not who I am. And it's genuinely probably kept me from moving forward in my current job. And that can be frustrating because I'm being asked to change who I am to get what I deserve. I don't like that.
Mm,
I don't like that.
yep, that is very true. I was just thinking consistency for anybody with ADHD probably should be celebrated.
Yeah. Honest to God, yeah.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
And we don't do it.
No.
And I just feel like saying that I am so proud of you being consistent with college, going to college and all of the classes and being like essentially going to all of them, not missing any
Oh no,
really,
I haven't missed any. Yeah.
for what is it, over a year now,
Yeah.
year and a half?
Yeah, haven't missed any.
So I'm just so proud of you being consistent at it.
Thank you. I don't even like yes, I'm tired during like those mornings when I have to get up or the late nights and stuff like that on Zooms and stuff. But like I think for me, because it's something I'm passionate about, it keeps me interested. It's kind of like you with tech stuff, right? It really has to be something that you're passionate about and that will keep the consistency. I think that's the best way to look at it. It's something I'm passionate about. It's people related. It's people focused. It will keep my attention. There will never be a moment where I'm like, this is fucking boring. It couldn't be for me. It can never be boring. You know.
Is this the first thing ever that it hasn't gotten boring to you over time? Maybe astrology as well.
I've always loved astrology. Because it tells me more about it keeps coming back to the psychology of people, right? It tells you more about yourself. It's all about introspection. So that's always been a thing. Um this is gonna sound really gay. Sorry for using that word. I have never gotten bored of love. I love love and I love to show it in any way, shape, or form that I can. And if that's with friends, a partner, whatever else, even with like all of the stuff over the years with people like having relationships and it not working out and being sad to have to part ways with people, um, I still have so much interest in the topic. I've so much like
Hmm.
always it will always pull me in. And if you want to go down the astrology hole, is it because I'm a Libra and I'm all about ruling of Venus and love is what where I'm at? I don't know. But that's something I've always kind of kept faith in and I will never lose that either.
That's a very strong statement.
Mm.
I love it. I love it.
I love love.
I don't know. I love love as well. Probably not as passionately. I love hugs. I love change. I think I love change the most.
Okay.
And I always have.
Mm.
It's something that has always driven me. It's something that I always look forward to. Doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative. It's sometimes harder to get through a negative change, but it's still change. And I love when things are not stale.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Weird.
that's quite a powerful statement though, right? Because when you if you want to get philosophical about it, change is a constant. It's something you can be reassured that it's always going to be the case. You'll always have change in your life. You'll always have change in your work, your relationships. You as a person, you're always growing older every day. You're like one day older. That's always going to happen. And most people don't like the change that comes their way. So I think if you can get comfortable with that, I feel like you can it's kind of a superpower. You can be invincible in that, whereas change does not shake you. You're like a rooted tree to the ground. You're like, you know?
Maybe not a tree because it would still shake me, especially if it was like an earthquake. Maybe water.
I love that. Like a
I
tsunami.
am I am a body of water. I flow wherever I'm
I
shaken.
love that. There's so much depth to me. There are species in this water they haven't even identified yet. Isn't that a weird? Now, this is going to take it off on an ADHD tangent, but isn't it so weird to think that there's a really high percentage of the ocean that has never been explored? There's stuff in there that we don't, and people are like, I'm just going to get into this water, like jump out of a boat into it. And I'm like, what's underneath though? What's under there? That's terrifying.
Sur- Surface level? Probably nothing. But when you start digging beneath the surface, ooh, I got so enthralled in this what's under the pyramids thing where there's like
Yeah.
canals and like a different room and
Like
there's all of
domes,
these
these like weird
yeah,
pillar things or something. There's like, oh,
yeah.
I seen stuff on this, and I was like, you could be Alice. You could go down that rabbit hole. Like,
I still am like in two minds about it. Is this a flat earth sort of a thing or is this actual research? Everything points to it being an actual research, but in my mind I'm still like
doubtful.
I don't have enough proof, so I'm gonna be careful talking about it to others because I don't wanna
Conspiracy theories.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm still caught up on the fact that the pyramids exist, and I'm like, how old are they? How did they create them? And they're like, oh, slaves, and I'm like, how did slaves carry those like block things? Oh, there was so many of them. I'm like, look at the size of them. How did they do that? Like, I feel like it had to be a
Why,
case where people lifted shit with their minds or something back then, where they're like, there's something they're not telling us.
why are they all so perfectly
What?
shaped?
Like, right?
Some stones as well. What is it like they're basically like laser cut or something? It looks like they're laser cut. I want to believe that some time ago, let's say before Jesus, what is it? AC, DC, BC,
ACDC.
whatever. Before ACDC. Um, there was a civilization
Yeah.
that was extremely developed
Yeah.
with like all of these machines and everything was just so futuristic,
Yeah.
including like Stonehenge and everything.
Yeah.
And then something happened. It all got destroyed, probably with dinosaurs or whatever. And now we've just been rebuilding from scratch and we'll eventually get to that point, but we're not there.
Do you think that like maybe as like a civilization we like were up there, we were like up here, and then we've just backpedaled in so many ways over the years when we're like, oh, like
Oh,
eventually there'll be
yeah.
floating cars, and we're like, they were there before. We're just going backwards now.
I, absolutely. I really want to believe, I don't want to say I believe, but I really want to believe that all of these futuristic things that the Jetsons, whatever, we're getting very close to Jetsons, to be honest. We're probably not going to be living on houses on a stick and a kind of tin floating Rosie the robot, but they all came from somewhere.
Yep.
All of the premonitions and all of these ideas came from somewhere. It is possible that maybe we were connected to our pre-incarnated self. This is going on a tangent. Pre-incarnated
I
self,
love it.
and you remember their memories, and that's how you kind of get inspiration on these random things.
I I love the whole thing of like I keep seeing this online right now. My phone's definitely listening to me I keep seeing this stuff around, like, you know, if you had a lifetime, like reincarnation, right? If you had a lifetime, and let's say me and you, like, we were, I don't know, brother and sister or something in another life, and whatever way, it's like you have to meet each other in the next life because, like, karmic reasoning, like there's a debt that has to be paid. Same with relationships though, like the way they say, like, oh, your twin flame or your soulmates and whatever. But the thing with soulmates for me is I've come to believe that soulmates are not just like a man and a woman, like, partnership, which is like, oh, the love, whatever. I think soulmates can be pets. I think they can be friendships. I think they can be so many different things in this life. And they're very
Mm-hmm.
powerful. You know, when you just meet people and you're like, you feel like, yeah, we just align so
There's,
much.
yeah, instant magnetic attraction. The only thing that I'm probably
Skeptic.
slightly iffy about, I wouldn't say skeptical, just iffy about, is soulmate between a person and an inflatable doll.
And maybe that was their cat in another life. Who knows?
No judgment,
We
but maybe a
listen
little bit.
and we don't judge.
That is the most judgy statement. I love those videos though.
Oh.
How do we take this home?
Um, hmm. We've talked about our money and motivation. We've talked about productivity and a lot around the ADHD piece. I suppose. Hmm.
You know what? Let's start, or let's stop on a very strong question.
Okay.
What's your smallest ritual that actually restores you?
Restores me energetically.
Mm-hmm.
My smallest ritual. It's gonna sound so lame. I have a playlist and it's titled Love. This is coming back to the love piece for me. So whenever I'm feeling a bit like, "Wah," I put the love playlist on and I connect with the music, and it tends to bring me back to that space of love if I'm a bit erratic and all over the place. Music is my connector.
That's so nice.
What about you?
Ah, the ritual that restores me. Probably even after work, just getting up, going to my husband, and getting a hug.
So love.
Some, even if, yeah, even if I am so upset that I just want to crawl out of my body, I am gonna force somebody to hug me because I know that that will restore me, and I will just stand there hugging whoever for like 5 minutes, and I can feel that they want to like, "Oh, are we done? Are we done yet?" I'm like, just a little more.
A little more.
That
Yeah, like that's love. So love is your,
it's the
yeah,
closeness, it's
yeah.
the
Compression.
compression as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the funniest thing that we've just realized? Our restoration is love.
It really
That's
is.
beautiful. I love that. I love love. I love that.
I love that as well. This was such a strong way to finish this
I
off.
know, right? I love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending this hour with talking to me. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I learned so much as well. For all of you who's listening, it would really support it if you left a comment, left a like, shared the video as well, or shared the podcast with somebody who also loves love. And leave a heart emoji.
Yeah. Heart emoji on. Love.
Millennial and Gen Z hearts. All right. Today, here was me, Jake, and I was joined by,
Jenny.
and we are signing off. And thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day, evening, morning, whatever you have. And may love be always around you.
Bye.
Bye.